Greetings one and all from the Holy Land, the Holy City, Elon Moreshchem, close to my holy yeshiva. Welcome. We are on Super Sundays here, 22nd day of the Jewish month of Tammuz 5784. We continue our journey on Christianity and Judaism. Before we start, I'm going to remind myself and ourselves that I am doing my best to keep these classes short, at a half hour, in order that we're able to review them once we listen to them a couple of times. These classes are going to need more of a serious putting on a learning cap, as they call it. So I'm trying to make it as concise, as simple as I can, but still there has to be an effort on your part in order to integrate all this information. So we'll try to keep to our promise of around a half hour each class. With that said, always to our sponsors, thank Mike and all of his volunteers and the great things that they're doing all over the land of Israel, and a special thanks to the blog of Palm Tree of Devorah. Try to say that fast a couple times, not easy, and all the help that the blog has given me, my different questions about Christianity, that I've received assistance and guidance from that blog. Check it out, well worthwhile. Okay, this is the fourth part of this series. The name today of the subject is the Holy Trinity, ? Or 3 strikes and you're out. Okay. In our previous class, we had brought 2 sources that showed by our sages that there is definitely an angle that when we join, when we have a partnership, a fuse with God and other deities, there is an angle in the Torah that's even worse than worshiping idols. Amazing. You could, on one hand, we believe in God. We just fuse together other beliefs. You would think that, well, it's better, closer. After paganism, it's closer to the truth. I got a few comments like that. So here, last week, we saw 2 sources, and now our last source. We know that the Great Assembly compiled the famous Amidah prayer of 18 blessings. But later on, there was an additional prayer. It was the 12th prayer that was added on. So now today we have 19. Why was there a need? What was so emergency? What was the emergency that our sages saw a need to add to our 18 benedictions a 19th one? And according to many of our sources, that was due to the rise of Christianity. It was looked upon so severely, an emergency situation, that we had to alter the prayer that was given to us by the great 120 members of the Great Assembly, who the prayer was brought down through prophecy. No. There was such an important event, the rise of Christianity. This is brought down by the prayer book called Avodat Yisrael, by the uncensored version of the Kuzari, and on page 234, the book Sefer Yochsin, first discussion, page 15, side 8, and the list goes on. These are sources, these are books that brought down the reason why there was such an urgent issue amongst the Jewish people was this scolding, harsh prayer against Christianity. The 19th benediction, and if you follow it, it comes out to be number 12, according to the order now. So there we have it, the severity of partnership between God and other deities. Now, let's take it from the top. It is such an honor to be able to do this class. I must thank Hashem for this opportunity that He gave me, of all people. I believe, at least in English, it is the first of its kind, much needed. There's so much confusion, and we are going to try to eliminate the fog that is on this subject and bring down the light, make it very, very clear to all of you out there. It will be very, very clear. Hopefully, in the next couple of classes, we'll do our best with God's help. Okay. Where in the Talmud, in the Torah, where do we find such a concept as shituf? That is the Hebrew word for partnership, fusing together, connecting, uniting God with other powers or deities. Where does that come from? Shituf. So if we open up to Tractate Sanhedrin, page 63, side A. All those that combine God's name with another deity will be removed, uprooted from the world. That is pretty serious. As the verse says in Exodus 22:19, one who brings an offering to gods, that's plural, G-O-D-S, shall be destroyed. Only an offering can only be brought to Hashem alone. Once again, check it out, Exodus chapter 22, verse 19. From there, we receive this concept, a very, very fundamental concept, which we will see. Till this day, there is debate about this. And we've come with Hashem's help to clarify this issue. But that is the source. Our next step on the journey, our next stop. Where did a possible source come from the Torah, that would allow worshiping God with other forces, other deities? Where is that possibility found? How did this evolve? Very important. You know, recently I saw a Jewish site that fights missionaries, etc. And even though that's their job, there's such confusion on this. Even experts, so-called experts, are in the dark when it comes to really understanding this subject. Where does it evolve from? Okay, so here we go. In the Talmud, tractate, Sanhedrin, page 63, side B. The Torah states in Exodus 23, verse 13, do not mention foreign gods, and it should not be heard by your mouth. The Talmud goes ahead and asks, what does this additional wording mean? It should not be heard via your mouth. The Talmud responds with a couple of options, what to learn out from the extra wording. We will touch on one of the understandings. The meaning is twofold. On one hand, we must not swear in the name of foreign gods. Number two, do not cause a situation where Gentiles will make an oath using the name of foreign gods. Now, it is beyond the scope of the class, not the purpose of this class, to discuss. This verse that we quoted in Exodus 23:13, is this a biblical, the understanding of not swearing in the name of a foreign god by a Jew, and a Jew not causing a Gentile to swear in the name of a foreign god? Is this a biblical transgression? Or perhaps a rabbinical transgression? Or perhaps it's not a transgression. It's just a positive, a good idea. Beyond the scope of our class. Now, the father of Shmuel doesn't tell us his name. He took this passage of not hearing the name of foreign gods on your mouth, and he says, I am taking this understanding of the Talmud, and it backs up a fundamental concept of mine. What is that? That a Jew is not allowed to do business with Gentiles. Why? Very simply, if a Jew is doing business, makes a contract, a business contract with Gentiles, once if a dispute, a monetary dispute arises, then you go to court. You go to a Gentile court, and there we might be causing a non-Jew to swear in the name of a foreign god, and we just saw that that is a transgression. So the father of Shmuel has his flag, has his proof. What I've said, not going into business with non-Jews, I have now my source. The Talmud in the tractate of Sanhedrin 63b. This is my source. Comes the Tosfot. The Tosfot were they existed for a period of approximately 140-50 years, from the year 1190 to 1340 was the period in history of the Baalei Tosafot. So the Tosfot in two places, in Sanhedrin 63b and also Bechorot 2b, not as to be or not to be, but to be. The Tosfot brings down a dispute between two brothers, the Rashbam and Rabbeinu Tam. They were brothers. They were the grandsons of the famous Torah commentary and Talmudic commentary, Rashi, the grandsons. The Rashbam's name was Shmuel, and Rabbeinu Tam's name was Yaakov. Let's say two Jews did not listen. Jews that had businesses with Gentiles, they did not listen to the ruling of the father of Shmuel. And they went ahead and they cut contracts and business deals with non-Jews. And sure enough, a monetary dispute arises. Now, we're talking about, of course, a Gentile court. Is a Jew allowed to take a Gentile to court? Now, there's always a chance that the Gentile will swear in the name of a foreign worship, of Avodah Zarah. Who caused it? The Jew. Isn't there a Torah prohibition that we mentioned in Exodus 23:13? What do? Okay, you should have listened, and you should have cut a contract. You should have done business, but you did. Okay, now you got to flow with the punches. So the Rashbam says, not only did they not listen and they made a business contract with non-Jews, now you want them to make another violation and swear, make an oath, possibly creating a transgression of swearing in the name of foreign worship? No way. Rabbeinu Tam says yes. In order for a Jew not to lose, we say, go ahead, take him to court. Take this Gentile or a Gentile company, take them to court in order that you do not lose. Okay, that's the dispute. Rashbam says, no, you lose. And Rabbeinu Tam says, no, take him to court and have him take oath that he's telling the truth. Okay. Tosfot comes and he says before that, what is the basis of Rabbeinu Tam's ruling? It can't be because a Jew will take a loss of money, then we're going to make a transgression and having a non-Jew swear in the name, possibly in the name of a foreign worship, foreign God. So what's behind the ruling of Rabbeinu Tam? Listen to this. Amazing. Tosfot says the following. During the times of the Talmud, most of the world were pagans. idol worshippers. However, in the times of the Tosafot, once again, we're talking about in the period of 1190 to 1340, in Europe, they witnessed a new type of Gentile, not a pagan idol worshiper, but European Christians. So, during the time of the Tosfot, these European Gentiles began different practices. On one hand, they believed in a creator, in one creator. On the other hand, they had other beliefs that were avodah zarah, that were foreign worship. The Tosfot, they lived during this time. And we'll see, this Tosfot is brought down by the Ramah. The Ramah, they both lived in Europe. And they witnessed this new type of worship, no longer paganism. They witnessed Christianity that believed in a creator and additional foreign worship beliefs. So therefore, the Tosfot says, in my times, in our times, even the Rashbam, who says, even if you have to take a loss, you're not allowed to bring a Gentile to court because he may swear in the name of a foreign god. Even the Rashbam would agree in our times. Why? Because now we're faced with Christians who believe in God as the creator and other beliefs which are foreign worship beliefs, but they do believe in a one creator. So, we as Jews are not allowed to bring a Gentile to swear in the name of foreign gods. However, the Christians swear in the name of God. They come in front of the judge. I swear in the name of God. They use the words, I swear in the name of God. What does God mean to this Christian in front of the judge? To him, when he says God, he's thinking in the back of his mind, God and the Son, JC. Now, the Tosfot explains, a Jew can rightfully say, I did not ask this Christian fellow to swear in the name of JC, which would be forbidden, since it's foreign worshiping, it's a foreign god. I just asked him to swear in the name of God. The fact that a Gentile has in mind, when he says, I swear in the name of God, in the back of his mind, he's thinking also of the Son, God forbid, JC. This is permissible for a Gentile, since it's shituf, partnership. Therefore, according to the understanding of Tosfot, this is a win-win situation. Once again, we have a Jew with a dispute against a Christian, business dispute. the Jew takes the Gentile to court, is he allowed? The Tosfot said yes. But what about swearing in the name of a foreign god, causing a Gentile to transgress? No problem here. It's a win situation, win-win for the Jew and also for the Gentile. Why? The Jew wins because the Jew never asked the Gentile to swear in the name of a foreign god. He told him to swear in the name of God. So that's okay for a Jew. The Jew did not ask him to swear in the name of a foreign worship. And the Gentile is okay because the Gentile swears in the name of God, God the Creator. He has in his mind also JC. For a Gentile, that is not a problem to swear. It is possible for a Gentile to swear in the name of God and think in the back of his mind about JC. That is not a transgression. Not for a Jew and not for a Gentile. Now, of course, a Jew who would have in mind God and another foreign god, that is for a Jew, that of course is forbidden. But I'm saying it's not forbidden for a Jew to bring to court a Gentile Christian who will swear in the name of God. And when he swears in the name of God, he's thinking about God and also the Son. A slightly different angle of Tosfot is the following. It is true that in the times of the Tosafot, Gentiles believed in ideas that qualify as foreign worship, Avodah Zarah. In addition, they prayed to their saints, whom they believed had power to sway how God would treat them. When they swore oaths, they would include the name of the saint and the name of God. Tosfot rules that causing a Gentile to swear an oath in which he mentions the name of a saint does not violate the Torah prohibition of you shall not cause somebody to use a foreign god on their lips. Since the Gentiles themselves view the saints only as a means to get divine help, but not as a source of help himself. They do not consider their saints or their mentors to be deities. Furthermore, in this angle of the Tosfot, although Gentiles have strange idolatrous notions defining and understanding the nature of God, causing them to swear an oath in God's name does not violate. It should not be heard on other people's mouths, since the name of the idol is not mentioned. Even though they think of their idol, they do not mention his name in their oath. Therefore, the Jew does not violate any prohibition when the Gentile takes an oath. This is brought down, this understanding, that when it comes to an oath, a Gentile would be allowed to say, I swear in the name of God, meaning God the Creator, and in the back of his mind, he's thinking of his deity, JC. This is brought down in questions and answers, Shar Ephraim, question number 24. Question and answers, Mahara Sasun, question 95. Question and answer, Me'il Tzedakah, question number 22. Machatzita Shekel, 156, 2. Okay. The Ramah, Rabbi Moshe Isserlish, he brings down, he lived in the 1500s, 1530 to 1572. He died very young, 42 years old, in Poland. He brings down this Tosfot as law in the Code of Jewish Law, Orach Chaim 156, in regards to doing business with Gentiles in our times. Before the Ramah, this was brought down in the 1300s in France by Rabbeinu Yerucham ben Meshulam, better known as the Netivot, in his 17th discussion in volume 5. He brings this Tosfot down as law, as does the Shach in Yoredea, the code, the Jewish law codifier, the Shach, Rabbi Shabtai Cohen, who lived in Poland, 1622 to 1663, also died at the age of 41, in Yoredea 151.7. Folks, listen closely. First of all, go over what I just brought down in the Tractate of Sanhedrin, the dispute of the Tosfot, of the Rashbam, of Rabbeinu Tam. Go over it a few times so it's clear in your mind. The big question now is, this law that was brought down by the sources I just mentioned into Jewish law, was this speaking, allowing a Gentile to have some type of partnership with a foreign god? Was this only in a case of taking an oath in court? Yes or no? Or did the Tosfot blow open the door, allowing Gentiles to worship in partnership God and foreign gods? In our discussion, JC, the commentary, Olat Tamid, by Rabbi Shmuel of Krakow, 1640 to 1700, took this position. He understood the Tosfot, that Tosfot was blowing the door wide open and saying, in our days when we have Christianity for a Jew, of course, is forbidden by the Torah. You must give your life for sure. But for a Gentile to fuse together a belief in God, the true God, and foreign deities, for a Gentile, that is not a problem. That is not considered to be foreign worship. It's considered to be shituf, partnership, fusing together. That's how he understood it. However, the majority opinion understood the Tosfot to pertain only when it comes to taking an oath. The Ramah himself, we will see next week, the Ramah himself, who brought down this permission to do business with Gentiles, even though there is a chance that there will be a business dispute and you might have to go to court, Gentile court, and the Gentile will have to swear that what he's saying about the business transaction is true, and he swears in the name of God. We will see next week. Don't touch that dial.